our topic is inverse function, and for us to say that it is an inverse function, it should first be a one-to-one function. And yan, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, review na lang natin ulit. One-to-one functions are functions wherein each element of the domain only corresponds to one and only unique element in the range. Ayan. So I have here different what's this? Real life scenario of one-to-one functions. So as I've said earlier, we have here the Southeast Asian countries or the ASEAN members of ASEAN and their capital. And we all know that each country, each country in the world, not only in ASEAN, has their one have their only capital city or capital town. Maliban syempre sa mga countries po na city lang. Let's take for example, Vatican City. Di pa siya country. It's a nation. So yun. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, gusto kong itanong na I think that you have learned the difference between countries, a state, and a nation. So yun po. Ayan siya. So, pero in ASEAN, balik tayo, a country, each members of the ASEAN has one capital city or capital town. Okay? Same way goes to our Philippine regions. Ayan. Each region in the Philippines has their name or region name or kung saan sila mas kilala. Okay? Kasi though, yeah, we are familiar with the region 1, region 2, and so meron silang region name na tinatawag. Of course, we have, ayan, region 1, we have the, bakit region 2 na una? So region 2, Cagayan Valley, region 5, Bicol region, and region 1, Ilocos region, region 4A or the Calabarzon, wherein Calabarzon is actually the acronym of the provinces in region 4A such as Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon. And we have, of course, region 3, the Central Luzon, region 4B, Mimaropa, of course, it's familiar to you kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng Mimaropa. Region 7 is the Central Visayas, and region 4 is Western Visayas. So, bakit may tutuldok? Bakit may tutuldok glass sa last part ng ating Kasi we have 18 or 19 regions kasi may mga dinagdag. Ayan. So, ayan. Anyway, so these are just the examples. And of course, each region has their own name and it's unique. So it's actually a one-to-one function. Okay. How about when we put that in context of mathematics or in functions? So I have here the function f of x is equal to x. So kung ano yung x mo, yun din yung f of x mo. And we all know na yung ating f of x is actually what? Ang ating f of x class is yung y, di ba? So, an output or an input, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kung ano man yung ilagay natin na input, yun din yung output natin, di ba? Kasi kung ano yung f of x, yun din yung x. So, 0 corresponds to 0, 1 corresponds to 1, 2 corresponds to 2, 3 corresponds to 3, 4 corresponds to 4, and so on. Okay? Hindi naman pwede na 0 na nga inilagay mo sa x, magwa-1 pa tayo, di ba? Hindi pwede yon. So, ayun na nga. So, siya ay, siya ay 1-to-1. Okay? 1-to-1 siya. How about when we have itong nasa kabila? We have, ayan, f of x is equal to 2x minus 2. So, when we substitute any number to our x, it will yield a unique solution or unique answer. So, ayan. So, 0, when we substituted 0 in the function, we have negative 2, 4 times 2 is 8, minus 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is, ayan, 4 minus 2 is 2, 8, 16 minus 2, 14, tama. So, 6 minus 2, 6 times 2 is 12, minus 2 is 10. So when we substituted a number in our function and it only yields a unique solution or a unique answer, that is 1-to-1. Okay? Ngayon po, paano naman sir kapag not 1-to-1 siya? Okay? So ayan, may mga example ako dito. Ito yung mga representations naman na hindi siya 1-to-1. Kasi di ba, ayan, so dapat alam mo natin siyang i-represent to real life for us to understand. Okay, so we have non-examples of one-to-one function. Of course, grade 11 subject teachers and their sections they handle in grade 11. So meron ako ditong 5 teachers. I know some of these teachers are not your teachers. Kaya Ito, let's say for example, ayan. Ma'am Andrea has only 2 sections sa grade 11. Ang hawak niya lang ay Aristotle and Edison. Ma'am Merle, ganun din. Aristotle and Edison. Ma'am Jane only handled STEM subjects, Dalton, Einstein, and Rutherford. Me, since I'm handling a core subject, lahat kayo under ko. Okay? And Ma'am Tiny, since she is teaching STEM students, ayan din, Dalton, Einstein, and Rutherford. Therefore, this, if we are about to convert this in a function, it's not one-to-one. Why? Each input, each column dito sa ating mga teachers, sa ating domain, merong 2 or more subjects na hinahawakan. So, it's not one-to-one. Same way goes with this one. Senior high school sections, undergrade levels. So, 5 section is undergrade 11. Tama? We have Aristotle, Dalton, Edison, Einstein, and Rutherford. And for grade 12, we have 3 sections. Da Vinci, Newton, and Tesla. So, this is not one-to-one din. Kasi each domain corresponds to what? Though, si Aristotle, isa lang naman yung kino-correspond niya na grade level, which is grade 11, hindi pa rin po yan siya one-to-one. Kasi, isipin nyo, dapat unique. Dapat Aristotle, grade 11 lang, di ba? Da Vinci, grade 12, tapos Dalton, grade 13, mga ganon. Pero hindi ganon yung case natin. Since there are many inputs that corresponds to a single output, that is not one-to-one. Kasi balik tayo sa rule, a one-to-one function, if we have a function that is one-to-one, each element in the domain should have one and unique element corresponds to our range or to the range. Okay? So ayan. So these are some functions that is not one-to-one, where there are functions. So we have here x squared. Any number that is squared is positive. So ibig sabihin si negative 2 and sige, si 0 muna. 0, of course, 0 din. Pero kapag si 1 and negative 1 in the squared natin, parehong 1 ang answer. Negative 1 squared is negative 1 times negative 1. So 1 times 1 is positive, and negative times negative is positive, so that is 1. So 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1 din. Therefore, x squared or the squared function is not what? It's not one-to-one. Bakit? Kasi there comes a there are some elements in the domain that corresponds to same range or same element in the range or output. Just like negative 1, negative 2, and so. Ayan po siya. Okay? How about this one? Are you familiar with this function? Ayan. Ayan. Parang ano ata to siya? Nasa module. Pero, for the information of everyone, this is what do we call the absolute value function. Ayan. We have the absolute value function. So, absolute value function is a function, of course, with the absolute value. So, any number na in-input natin doon sa ating absolute value would become positive. Okay? Bakit positive? Kasi po, class, ang absolute value natin is the distance from the origin. So, si negative 2, 2 units away siya sa origin. Tama? Kaso nga lang, to the left side. Diba? Kung igagraph nyo si negative 2, gaano siya kalayo sa origin? 2. Pero saan siya nakaposisyon? Sa left side, kaya siya negative. Kaya absolute value. I guess na-discuss na to sa inyo dati pa. Pero anyway, ayun, review lang din naman. Ganon din. Any number, ayan, any number that has the same, wait lang. So, ayun siya. So, any number that has an absolute value should become positive kapag siya ay integer or non-zero integer. So, 0, 0 pa rin. So, si 1 and negative 1 is 1 units away from the origin, disregarding the sign. So, we have negative 1 and 1 is 1. And we have 2 and negative 2 would become 2. So, this is actually not a one-to-one function din. Okay? Kasi nga, si domain has, ayan, so isa lang naman ang kanilang corresponds na value, ayan, pero hindi unique. Okay? Same way goes with our function f of x is equal to 0. Bakit, class? Kasi po, ayan, ito siya, di ba? Kasi po, any number raised to 0 is what? Is equal to 1. Kaya, any number, name it, lahat po yan, nagko-correspond sa ating 1. 1 raised to 0, pi raised to 0, 1,000 raised to 0, fraction raised to 0, negative raised to 0, 1 million times 1 million times 1 million, all of those answer would raise to 0, that is 1. Okay? Yun po. Ngayon po, paano natin malalaman na siya ay, tawag dito, siya ay function or not based on graph. So, based sa graph natin, ayan po, may ginagamit tayong horizontal line test. So, the horizontal line test is, ayan, a function is said to be one-to-one if and only if each horizontal line intersects the graph of any function in at most one point. Actually, same sila ng concept ni vertical line test. Pero saan natin ginagamit si vertical line test? It is to determine kung ang binigay na graph ay function or not. Sa horizontal line test naman po, ginagamit po siya to determine if the function or an equation is one-to-one. Okay? So I have here graphs. Ayan. So which of the following graphs are one-to-one or is a one-to-one function? So ito, so consider muna natin na ano siya, na lahat sila kunwari ay function. O saan dyan yung hindi function? Sige, let's see. Ayan, so palitin ko muna. So meron akong, nakikita niyo yung blue line, class. Ayan, yung gumagalaw-galaw. Well, let's assume that this is the vertical line that we will be drawing in our function. So in our function, we are the equation x squared plus y squared equals r squared. For the STEM students, this is actually the equation of the circle. And you will be having this. Ayan, sa UMS kasi, di nyo na ito di-discuss. So, ito, based sa ating definition, is this a one-to-one or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Not,
not one-to-one. Bakit po? Kasi, ayan, check natin. Nag-intersect yung ating horizontal line dito, at saka dito. So, we have 2 points. And sinabi sa definition, we only have 1 point, di ba? At most 1 point lang. So, therefore, this is not one-to-one. Okay, how about this one? So, yung ating y is equal to x cubed. Itong second.
yes, sir.
This is a one-to-one. Ayan. One-to-one function siya. Okay, how about this one? Yung third. Yung y is equal to x squared.
No po.
No, ayan.
No, sir.
Kanina
No,
napakita
sir.
na rin natin kanina, di ba, na hindi siya one-to-one kapag naka-ordered pairs. So, hindi rin. How about this one? O, ito yung absolute value. Ito.
Po. No, sir.
Hindi rin. So, hindi po. Ayan. How about this one? O, asymptotic ata siya dun sa z. Ay, sa z. Bakit z? Sa x-axis. So, this is one-to-one. This is the graph of the logarithmic function. Anyway, matututunan niyo pa yan siya. Pero at least, at this juncture, you know how to determine if the graph is one-to-one or not. Okay? So, ayun po. Yun po siya. So, ayan. In order for a function to have its inverse, a function should be a one-to-one function. Para daw po masabi natin na siya ay one-to-one, ano dapat siya? Baliktad. Para masabi natin na siya ay may inverse ang function, ayan, dapat siya po ay one-to-one. So kapag hindi po one-to-one ang ating function, wala po siyang inverse. Okay, maliwanag po ba? Ayun. So ngayon, kunwari nalaman na natin na invert na ano siya, na one-to-one siya and meron siyang inverse. Ngayon, hahanapin natin yung inverse. So we have finding inverse. So to find the inverse of the function, simply interchange the variables x and y and solve for the y in terms of x. Then use y raised to negative 1 or f raised to negative 1 of x as annotation. Okay? Plus, ayan. Pag sinabi nating, ano ha, ito hindi to tawag dito. Kapag nag-raise to -1 tayo sa function, it doesn't necessary na ano ha, na i-reciprocate natin siya. Kundi, hinahanap natin yung inverse pag function. Ay, wait lang. Ayusin ko lang. Medyo may slide. Ayan. Ay, saan yan? So, find the inverse of the function. So, ano daw gagawin natin, class? Ayan. So, we need to, what? We need to find the inverse. So, assuming that all of this are 1-to-1, ang gagawin natin is to find the inverse. And gagawin natin yung nasa definition. Ayan. Para may space tayo, i-copy-paste ko na lang muna. Okay, mali. Wait lang. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so we have here, itong function na to, we have here f of x is equal to 3x minus 2. So, hanapan natin ang inverse. Ayan. Ay, sige, lagyan natin number. So, ayan po. Paano natin gagawin? First step is that, ang gagawin muna natin class, f of x, kasi ang nakikita. Ngayon class, ang kailangan natin is interchange x and y. May nakikita ba kayong y? May nakikita ba kayong y?
Wala po.
Wala. So kung
Wala,
walang y,
sir.
kung walang y, ano yung gagawin nating y?
Yung f of x po.
Okay, very good. Bakit f of x? Sige nga, Zipor, bakit f of x?
F of x refers or represents the y po, sir.
Okay, very good. Kasi nga, bakit natin pinalitan si y ng f of x? Because we all know that the y, our range, our output is the function of input. Kaya, function of input, function of x. Y is the function of x, kaya y is equal to f of x. Tama? Kaya wala na tayong nakikitang y. Though, we all know that f of x is y. Okay? So again, first thing, kapag wala kayo nakikitang y, i-rewrite yung function using y. So we have y is equal to 3x minus 2. The next step is, anong gagawin? Pagpalitin, i-interchange si x and si y. So pagpapalitin ng posisyon, we have x is equal to 3y minus 2. Ngayon po, we will be what? We will be solving for y. Kailangan si y lang yung matira sa sa left side or sa right side or any sides of the equation. Okay? So kailangan matira lang yung y. So anong gagawin natin? Ililipat natin yung yes, Zion.
Sir, medyo raw po mabilis daw po.
Sorry, thank you. Okay, so ulitin ko ha. Okay, again, since we don't have here the y, since kailangan natin yung y, ang gagawin natin is, is palitan yung f of x ng y. So ito na yon. Kasi nga, y is equal to f of x. And then, i-rewrite natin yung function. Ayan, rewrite the function. So we have y is equal to 3x minus 2. Okay? Ngayon po, i-interchange natin yung x and y. Pagpalitin yung posisyon ng x and y. Okay? So we have x is equal to 3y minus 2. Pagpapalitan lang yung x and y. And then, solve for y. Kailangan y lang yung matira sa other side of the equation. So we have x, lipat natin si 2. We have x plus 2, ayan, equals 3y. Divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3. We have, sige dito ko nalagay sa kabila, we have y is equal to x plus 2 over 3. Ngayon class, balik tayo. This is the inverse. Inverse to siya. Tignan nyo class, ano yung ginamit doon sa original function? F of x ba or y? So obviously, f of x, tama? Since f of x ang ginamit natin, kailangan ibalik natin siya sa f of x. Pero i-denote natin na siya ay inverse. And to denote that it is an inverse, dapat may negative 1 na exponent. So we have f raised to negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 2, pangatlong plus, x plus 2 over 3. So this is our inverse. Okay? Bakit f raised to negative 1? Kasi nga po siya ay inverse ng function of x. Okay? Yan siya. So dito dapat yung exponent sa gitna nung f saka nung x. Question, sige, question. Do you have any question or some parts of our solution that is not clear to you? Ulitin ko na lang para, ayan, medyo clear ulit. I'm mas clear. Ayan. So, ang first thing natin is, kapag wala tayong y na nakita, in this part, we need to change f of x with y. So, rewrite the equation. So, we have y is equal to 3x minus 2. Na-rewrite na natin. Pagpalitin si x and y. That's why we have x is equal to 3y minus 2. And then, solve for y. Kaya ililipat natin si 2, kailangan kasi matira lang si y sa kabila na mag-isa. And then, by doing so, we obtain ito. Y is equal to x plus 2 minus 3. And since f of x ang ginamit dito, kailangan pag binalik natin sa dulo, f of x pa din. Pero inverse na. Kaya meron tayong exponent na negative 1. Kaya meron tayong f raised to negative 1, x of x is equal to x plus 2 over 3. Pero class, ang base natin dito is the inverse of f of x is equal to x plus 2 minus 3. Ginagamit lang natin yung exponent na negative 1 here in labeling na siya ay inverse. Okay? Clear po ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige. We will be having more examples naman. Sige, wait lang. Pero ayusin ko muna to. Kailangan para may space tayo ng pang-solve. Okay. Medyo marami lang tayo madidiscuss ngayon. Hindi, pero ito lang. Ay, kaya naman. Aabot naman tayo on time. Ayan. So, ayan. May space na tayo for solving. Ayan. So, ayan. So, number 2. We have here a rational function. Diba? Ito actually mahihirap na example sa rational function. But anyway, ayan siya. Kaya nga tayo nagpa-practice. Ayan. So, we have number 2. G of x is equal to 4x over x minus 2. Again, naka-g of x, i-rewrite natin siya using y. Kasi kailangan natin yung y. Bakit tayo nagwa-y? Kasi class, mas magulo kasi pag g of x yung ginamit natin. Okay, so pwede naman, pero mas maganda na y. Okay, so y is equal to 4x over x minus 2. And then, lahat ng x magiging y, lahat ng y magiging x. Papapalitin natin kasi yung x and y. So we have x is equal to 4y over y minus 2. Lahat po yun, class, pagpapalitin. X saka yung y. Okay? So kung ilan man yung x, gawin yung y. Lahat ng y, gawin yung x. And then, solve for y. Diba? Pinagpalit na nga si y, sir. Hanapin pa si y. Ano ba yun? Ang gulo, diba? Kasi yung hinahanap natin yung kabaliktaran, yung inverse. Ayan. So, saan ba? Dito na lang siguro sa baba. So, we have here, tanggalin muna natin yung denominator. So, we need to multiply y minus 2. Ayan. So, y minus 2. And then, cancel. So, we have x, y, minus 2x equals 4y. Ayan. So, katulad ng ginagawa natin dati sa sa domain, pagsamahin lahat ng may y at pagsamahin lahat ng walang y. Ayan. So, we have xy, ililipat ko si 4y class para may kasama siya na y, minus 4y, equals, lipat kasi 2x kasi wala siyang y. 2x. Ayan. So, yun yung technique. Lahat ng may y, pagsamahin nyo in one side of the equation. And then, ayan. I-factor out natin yung y. Lahat sila may y, di ba? May common sila na y. xy and 4y has a common factor of y. So, labas natin yung y. Ano mangyayari? Magiging x minus 4 na lang. Tama? Equals 2x. Ayan. Ayan na. Para matira yung y, divide natin both sides by x minus 4. So, cancel. Dito sa kabila, x minus 4. And then we have y is equal to 2x minus x minus 4. Ay, sorry, nalipat. Sorry. Sorry, parang nag-iba na yung solution. Nalipat pala. Wait lang ha. Sorry. Ayan. So, ayan siya. Ngayon, class, ano yung ginamit natin na equation? Ay na pang notation. Di ba we have g of x? So, ibig sabihin, ibabalik natin siya sa g of x. So, we have g raised to negative 1 of x is equal to 2x minus, over x minus 4. Yes, may question? Ayan. So, ayan po siya, class. So, this is our function. Pag g of x dito, ito lang yung reminder lagi. Pag g of x dito, dapat dito sa dulo, inverse of g of x na siya. So, bale, may raised to negative 1 na yung g. Okay? Bakit bumaba? Ayan. So, yun po yun siya. May question po? Ayun. So, ano naman yung challenging part dito, class? Yun pa yung challenging part na kapag rational. Kasi more probably, dalawa po yung magiging variable. Pero ang gagawin nyo lang dito, the main clue here is that you need to put the same, siguro yung y. You need to put those terms with y sa isang side lang ng equation para madali niyo siyang ma-cancel or ma-factor out. Okay? Para sa kabila matira yung mga excess. Okay? Question?
None, sir.
Okay,
None
so
po,
none.
sir.
How about the other sections? Einstein, Dalton.
None, sir.
None, sir.
None po.
Okay. So, clear tayo, ha? Okay. Again, if you have questions, don't think that it's nonsense. Maybe it's important. And na-mislo ko yun, di ba? Okay. Ay, sige. Screenshot ko muna para isend ko sa inyo later. Okay. Next, we have here, ito, number 3. Y is equal to 2x minus 1 over x, or 3x minus 3. Ayan. Lutang. Y is equal to 2x minus 1 over 3x minus 3. This is actually similar on what we have done in number 2. Okay? Ngayon po, ito na. Sige. Since y na po ito siya agad, we have no problem in changing it to, to y. Kasi naka-y na siya agad. Ayan. So, ang gagawin natin agad is to interchange x and y. So, we have x is equal to 2y minus 1 over 3y minus 3. And then, ayan, i-multiply natin both sides with the denominator to eliminate the rational. Ayan, so we have 3y minus 3. Ayan po siya. So we have 3xy, tama? Cancel na to eh. 3xy minus 3x equals 2y minus 1. Ngayon po, katulad ng sinabi ko, lahat ng may y, lagay nyo sa kabila. Lahat ng walang y, ilagay sa kabila. So we have 3xy, ilipat ko si 2x, so magiging negative 2x, 2y na siya, sorry. So ulit. So we have 3xy minus 3x equals 2y minus 1. Ilipat ko si 2y, kasi siya yung may y. So magiging negative na siya. So we have 3xy minus 2y equals, lipat ko si 3x kasi wala siyang y, minus 1. Lahat ng may y sa kabila na, di ba? Lahat ng walang y sa kabila na rin. So, ayan na siya. And then, ito yung keyword talaga dito, factor out natin yung y. So, y. Lahat sila may y. So, 3xy divided by y is 3x. Minus 2y, tanggalan natin ng y, 2 na lang. Ayan. Equals 3x minus 1. O, doon na sa kabila. Space it. So, divide natin both sides by 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2. Cancel. Cancel na to. So, we have y is equal to 3x minus 1 over x or 3x minus 2. Class, uulitin ko, kapag may nakita ako talaga na nag-cancel nitong 3x na to, may mauupakan talaga ako ha. Bawal po yan siya i-cancel ha. Kasi po meron tayong operator sa gitna. 'Di ba? Bawal mag-cancel kapag hindi multiplication or division yung operation na may kasama. Okay? Kung na-cancel lang talaga, may nakita na ako sa learning activity sheet number 1 nyo. Okay. So ngayon class, balik tayo. Ano yung ginamit sa original equation or function? Y, di ba? Since y yung ginamit, ang gagawin natin is i-notate natin siya. Ang gagamitin nating notation is y raised to negative 1. Hindi na tayo mag-f of x kasi wala namang f of x. So y raised to negative 1. Or the inverse of y is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 3x minus 2. Kapag ito class, hindi naka-inverse, mali na yun agad ah. Kasi ngayon hinahanap natin yung inverse eh. Ayan. Class, reminders lang, sa inverse function po, si y raised to negative 1 kasi is equal to 1 over y. Pero sa inverse function, wag niyo muna po siyang ganitohin ha, kasi ano lang naman siya, pang notation lang siya. Okay? Wag kayo ma-confuse ha, kasi may nag 1 over y na. Wala muna, wag. Okay? Ganito lang. Kasi po, name lang naman siya ng inverse. Hindi siya mismong value. Okay po ba? May question? So, sige, since gusto nyo rin naman ng mga exponent, gawin natin yung mas simpler. So, we have here, ano yun? Eto. So, we have x squared minus 4. Ayan. Interchange y with x. X is equal to y squared minus 4. Libat sa kabila si 4. We have x plus 4 equals y squared. Square root both sides to eliminate our exponent with y. So we have, baliktarin ko na agad, y is equal to square root of x plus 4. And since ang ginamit po ay y, we have y raised to negative 1 is equal to x plus 4 or square root of x plus 4. Okay po. Yung kanina, hindi natin mahanapan ng function kasi nga, tawag dito, rational na siya, ano pa siya, quadratic pa siya. I mean, you get my point? So, yun po siya. Okay? Yung mga ganun kasi usually, wala tayong inverse for that. Though, paano ko siya masasabi na may inverse? Basta pag rinaf mo siya, ayun, wala siyang And anyway, yan pala, later on, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung graph ng inverse function, pero later na. Or pwede rin ngayon na. Gusto niyo na ba ngayon? Ayan. So, sige, pakita ko muna sa inyo yung graph bago tayo mag-checking kung siya ba ay inverse or hindi. Kasi may checking tayo na tinatawag. And yun po, sa checking na tinatawag natin is that, tawag dito, doon natin malalaman kung yung answer natin ay tama or hindi. Okay? Pero as of now, papakita ko muna sa inyo yung purpose ni inverse. Ayan, wait lang ha. Open ko lang yung app. Again, while we are opening our graph, let me remind those students or sorry, those secretaries to list their classmates. Paki-list lang, pasuyo na lang ako. Kasi ayun, hindi ko na kayo maisa-isa ngayon eh. Ang dami na kasi. Pero kasi kung per section lang, mas madali lang sana. Ayun. Wait, may chat. Yes. Okay, noted. Okay. So, ito po. Okay, so nakikita niyo po ngayon yung Cartesian plane natin. This is, actually, I showed this, I showed this already last time pa, naalala ko. This is the GeoGebra, what's this? GeoGebra tool. This is a graphing tool. Kapag maliit lang siguro yung file, siguro i-upload ko sa Google Classroom para kayo mag-try doon. And kasi our performance task, our first performance task, it's actually, by group naman, by pair pala, sorry. Hindi siya by group, by pair. Possible by pair? Sige, by threes or by pair. Bahala na kayo. Tawag dito, ito yung gagamitin natin for, may performance task tayo for inverse function. And, syempre, drawing yon. Di naman kayo pwede mag-drawing using this app, di ba? Drawing yan, siguro ito lang yung magiging guide ninyo in doing so. Okay? So, kukunin ko kunwari yung function na ginamit natin kanina. So, we have f of x, kung naalala nyo pa, f of x is equal to 3x minus 2. Naalala nyo? Ayan. So, antayin ko lang na na mag-load. Ayan na siya. And then, class, ito, ang pinakuha nating function niya kanina na inverse, yung inverse niya kanina is f raised to negative 1 of x, tama diba, is equal to x plus 2 over 3. Tama ba? Ano ko natin answer kanina is x plus 2 over 3.
Opo, sir.
Wait lang. Parang iba ata yung magiging itsura ng function. Tama ba? Ay, mali. Over 3. Mali yung over 3. Over 3. Okay. Di niya ma-read yung f of raised to negative 1. So, gawin ko muna ng g ha. Ayun na kasi. Bakit ayaw niya? Inverse. Inverse naman po. O, ayaw niya nga. Ayun na lang. Kunwari yung f of, etong g of x, kunwari yung inverse niya. Ngayon class, tignan niyo yung graph. Magga-graph pa ako ng isa. Ito yung y is equal to x. So any number, kung ano yung y mo, yun yung x mo. Ayan. Ngayon class, sige, compare natin. Ano yung mapapansin nyo class sa graph with respect to itong black line, itong y is equal to x?
Mirror sila, sir. Mirror po.
Okay, very good. That is actually our point. Ang inverse niya po, yung inverse natin is the graph of the inverse of the function na lang, of the function, and its inverse is reflexive with respect to x is equal to y. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Yung graph natin is reflexive or parang mini-mirror niya with respect to our x is equal to y. So yung black po na yan is actually, that is the line of our reflexivity. Okay? So any graph, kapag siya ay inverse, magmi-mirror siya. Okay? Sige, burahin ko tong dalawa. Wait lang ha. Burahin ko itong f of x saka g of x. So ita-type ko ulit yung nakuha nating second example. So we have here, Itong 4x, sige, kunwari y na lang gamitin ko para mas madali. Y is equal to 4x over x minus 2. Tama ba? 4x over x minus 2. Yan yung graph niya. Tapos, yung isa naman ay, ang graph na nakuha natin is y is equal to 2x over x minus 4. Ayan. So, ganun din. Mirror nyo, di ba? So, kung i-trace natin yung line, wait lang. Where's the spotlight spot? Pointer. Ayan. So, kung ito-trace natin to, di ba? Ayan, yung mirror itong part na to is ito. Tama? Yung mirror naman ito is ito. Yan siya. So, indeed, yan. Based on our, with respect to our x equals y, yung function and yung kanyang inverse ay mirrored or reflexive kapag rinaf. Okay? Same way goes dun sa nakuha ating kanina kapag rinaf natin. So, that would be your clue in doing your performance task. So, I'll be giving you a graph or a function. I will give you a function and then i-graph nyo po yung kanyang inverse and siya. Of course, ang una nyo gagawin natin yung inverse. I-check nyo kung tama yung inverse and then i-graph nyo siya. Okay? Pero hindi ko muna ibibigay ngayon. Siguro mga mga tawag dito, mga by next week na. Kasi aayusin ko pa yung rubrics kung paano nyo gagawin para syempre graded naman kayo doon. Okay? Ayan. So, balik na tayo sa ating topic. So, kanina, ang ginawa natin is we find the inverse. We check the inverse, di ba? Nag-check tayo ng inverse. Naghanap tayo ng inverse, di ba? Or tama. Hindi, ito muna. Yung pinakauna natin topic is, di ba, 1-to-1. So, hanap na natin yung mga 1-to-1 na function. Chinek muna natin kung siya ay 1-to-1 kasi pag siya ay 1-to-1, siya ay may inverse. Ngayon, kapag siya ay inverse, mayroon siyang, ayun. Okay, yun ang inverse niya, di ba? Ngayon po, there are ways to find our inverse. Ito na nga. Inverse function using composition. Remember, composition of functions, di ba, we already done this? Di ba? Si Fog. Fog ang basa talaga. We have the F compose G, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Ayan. So if we have two functions
Yes.
represented by f of x and g of x, and then f of x and g of x are inverse of each other if and only if f of g or g of f is equal to x. Kapag pinasok natin yung inverse doon sa function, or pinasok natin yung function doon sa inverse niya, dapat ang matitira na answer ay x. Okay? Sige, I have here, di yan yung example. Okay, I have here 2 examples. Ayan. So una, I have f of x is equal to 2x minus 3. And yung inverse niya, named as g of x, is equal to x plus 3 over 2. Hindi ko muna class nilagay na f inverse of x. Kasi nga, hindi pa natin alam kung siya ay inverse nung f of x. Okay? So, i-check natin kung siya ay inverse nung g of x, yung f of x. So, we have 2 ways. Okay? Meron tayong 2 ways. It's either, nangyari. It's either f of g of x or pwedeng g of f of x. Don't worry, pareho yung tama. Okay, so pero papakita ko sa inyo yung both ways. We have f of g of x. Di ba? Ang f of g of x is equal to what? Katulad sinabi ko, we have f of g of x. So ipapasok ko si g of x kay f of x. So ano muna yung f of x? Ang f of x natin is 2x minus 3. Ano yung g of x? So, ito na nga yung given. So, ipapasok ko si g of x. So, f of g of x. So, we have 2 of g of x minus 3. Ipapasok ko si g of x. So, we have 2 Ano yung g of x? X plus 3 over 2 minus 3. O, cancel na si 2. So we have x plus 3 minus 3. Combine like terms, 3 minus 3 ilan? X. Tama? So si f of g of x natin ay equal to x. Ngayon po, kapag x ang sagot, ibig sabihin po, si f of x at g of x ay inverse ng isa't isa. Nakuha po?
Yes, sir.
Okay. O sige. Ganun siya. Kapag pinasok mo yung isang function dun sa isa pa at x ang sagot, inverse nila ang isa't isa. Ngayon, to have the other way around, gawin natin yung g of x naman yung papasukan. So we have g of f of x. So g of f of x is, yun nga, g of f of x. Ipapasok ko sino? Si f of x. So we have g of x muna. Ang g of x natin ay, ayan, x plus 3 over 2. Papasok kasi f of x. G of f of x, parang choppy ako. Narinig ko choppy din yung sa phone ko. So we have g of f of x is equal to f of x plus 3 over 2. So pasok natin si f of x, that is 2x minus 3 plus 3 over 2. Simplify, 2x minus 3 plus 3 over 2. Ayan na. So we have 2x minus 2. Cancel na to kasi minus 3 plus 3. Cancel si 2x. So tama na ang ating g of f of x ay x din. So ibig sabihin, legit na si f of x and g of x ay inverse ng isa't isa. Ayan siya. Okay. Question po. May question kayo? Wala. Sure. Okay. So kung wala, ibig sabihin nakuha? Okay. Ay. Sige. Ano na, screenshot. Okay. Siguro kung wala, let's proceed to our next example. Ayan. So ito, medyo malala. Okay, so we have 2x plus 3 over x plus 4 and j of x is equal to 4x minus 3 and over 2x minus 4. 2 minus x. Ang gulo, basta yun. Pili lang kayo class kung anong gagawin ninyo. So if you may have g of x or So, pwede nyo unahin muna si, wala palang F or G dito. So, pwede nyo unahin si H of J of X or pwedeng J of X. J of H of X. Pili lang kayo kung saan sa dalawa. Pareho lang din naman actually class yung magiging answer. Ayun. So, carry na ba? Kaya ba? Or ano? Ako muna. Sige, ako muna.
Yes, sir.
Ako muna? Ay, ako muna or kaya nyo na?
Ikaw muna, sir.
Sige. Pero siguro isa lang dito. Kasi, tawag dito, basta ang palabas lang naman natin na X siya, di ba? Ayun. So, sige. Kunin ko sino mo mas maganda? Sige, H of J na lang. Okay, let's check your work. Kung may work ba? Ayan. What's this? Bala ko sana kasi i-off yung presentation. Tapos I will call someone to show his or her solution on the parang kumbaga open na yung camera tapos papakita niya yung kung paano sinulat. Pero anyway kasi parang kakain po siya ng time and magla-lunch na rin. So ako na lang. Yan, oo. Raise na lang kayo ng hands kapag tama kayo. Pag mali, sampalin niyo sarili niyo. Joke lang. Ayan. Tapos, pag mali, check niyo kung saan part kayo nagkamali. Tapos, if I were you, highlight that part sige. Yun. Highlight that part. Ayan. Tapos, ayun. Sige. Okay, ako na lang. Tapos check nyo na lang sa sarili nyo. Okay? Anyway, may last naman. Okay, so first stop, we have here f of x equals 2x minus 7. Ganito kasi yan. It's either, malalaman nyo rin naman na mali kayo kapag hindi nyo pala malalaman. The best way para kung di niyo man alam yung ginagawa nyo, the best way to check is that to check if it's f of g of x and g of f of x are equal to x. Okay? So kasi kapag malay nyo ang f of g of x yung pala ay iba sagot pero nag g of f of x kayo, x pala din ang sagot. So ibig sabihin baka may mali lang sa solution ninyo. Pero yun na nga, katulad ng sinasabi ko, mas maganda na sundan lang natin yung process. Okay? So yun yung best siguro suggestion kung paano nyo siya i-check. Okay. So first we have here number 1. Okay, so we have f of g of x is equal to 2x minus 7. Tapos siguro pasok ko na lang class agad ha. So 2, ano yung buong x? So we have x plus 7 over 2. Ayan. Minus 7. Cancel. Diba? So we have x plus 7 minus 7. And that will yield the answer of x. So our f of g of x is equal to x. Therefore, f of g is inverse of each other. Actually, kahit di nyo na ilagay, ipakita nyo lang siya na inverse or not. Basta pag x, ayun. Lagyan nyo ng meaning. Kasi pag x lang, anong hinamit kung x yan siya? Ano ibig sabihin? Ibig sabihin, inverse, yung two functions are inverse of each other. Okay? So, ganun po. Kapag hindi, edi, since it's not equal to x, therefore, yun na. They are not inverse of each other. So next we have m of x and n of x. So we have m of n of x. Monks. So we have 2 over 3. Pasok kasi 3 over 2 of x minus 18 dun sa x. So minus 12. So 2 over, ayan. So isa-isay natin. 6 over 6 of x minus 2 times 18. That is 36 divided by 3, that would become what? 12. Okay? So, tama yan, 12. Minus 12. Cancel si 6 over 6, our answer would become x minus 24. Mali. Kasi dapat x lang. So, they are not inverse of each other. Pero to check, gamitin natin yung norm, yung n of m of x. So we have 3 over 2. This time, ang ipapasok natin ay si 2/3 x minus 12. Minus 18. Ayan. So we have, again, 6 over 6 x minus 3 times 12 is 36. Divided by 2, that would become 18. Minus 18, 6 over 6 is cancelled, so therefore we have x minus 36. Tama ba? So therefore, hindi pa rin x. Ibig sabihin talagang hindi inverse ni m of x si n of x. Since the answer, bakit f of, ito, wala pala yan. Dito yan. Since when we compose the two functions and it doesn't yield the answer of x or an answer of x, therefore they are not inverse of each other. So ganun lang po mag-check kapag siya ay inverse or not inverse. Okay? So yun po. So we still have 12 minutes remaining per clock. So by this time, I will let you see our learning activity sheet if you haven't checked your Google Classroom. By the way, for the information of everyone, I already uploaded the book, or yeah, the reference that I used in your classes. So, saan na yun? Okay, ayan. As I've said a while ago, I'll be giving you performance tasks kasi if you didn't know, your grade would based on your what's this? On your, I forgot the term. On your written work, on your written works and performance tasks. So for written works, you have 40%, and for your performance task, you have 60%. So all of your lasses, learning activity sheets, would be the 40% of your grade, and the remaining 60% would be your performance task. So I'm not sure if I'm going to give you more performance tasks, but one of which is your attendance. Siguro I'll include the attendance. Don't worry, those who can afford or can, what's this? I forgot the term. Can attend the virtual classes would be, of course, given consideration. Make sure that you inform me before the class that you are not present that time. Okay? What else? What else do I need to tell you? Yeah, do you know the tawag dito? The first task is that yung gagawa kayo ng inverse function, then all you have to do is to graph that. And then maybe I'll be giving you the mechanics, the procedures, and the rubrics next meeting for you to be guided. Don't worry if I'm giving a performance task or a project or any process-based project or performance task. I gave enough ample time, such as maybe minimum na 2 weeks para ipasa, or sometimes 1 month. Depende sa bigat ng gawain. At ayun, hindi na ma-open yung ating learning activity sheet. Anyway, that would be all with our class for today. Paki-check na lang ang ating tawag dito, ang ating learning activity sheet number 4. I already uploaded that, including your materials, the textbook, and the module. Meron na po tayong module for our Gen Math. Okay? So if you have questions, feel free to ask in your GCs, diba? In your respective GCs. Ayan. I'm glad that in the 3 sections that we have, which supposedly we have, I guess we should have 90 ilan ba? Basta dapat nasa 90 plus tayo. Pero anyway, or 100 plus, maximum 100. Pero anyway, I'm glad that 44 na nga lang yung naiwan, 51 had attended my class. Okay? Maybe for some personal reasons din naman. Anyway, if you have no questions, ayan, it's almost 11. Happy 11/11, Shopee. Okay, so I guess that's all for today. I will be uploading the video maybe tomorrow or maybe later in the evening. Okay. Sige, open ko na lang yung ayun, nag-open na yung, bago pa nag-open, nung paalis na. Sige, since may nagtanong, extend ko lang ng saglit. Explain ko na yung gagawin sa learning activity number 2. Wait lang. Naglalag kasi. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, ang gagawin niyo sa learning activity sheets, number 1 is that, okay. If I'm not mistaken if I can still remember, the first thing that you do in part 1, ang gagawin niyo po is to determine which of the, what's this? Which of the following scenario shows that it's 1-to-1. Yeah. For number 2, naglalag kasi PC ko eh. For activity sheet number, no, sorry. For part 2, I guess it's that you need to find the inverse of the following functions given. Yeah, I guess so. And for number 3, wala kasi, wait lang. Dapat kasi I mean, lab kasi.
Number 3 po yung
Sir, baliktad po.
Baliktad. So, sorry. Sorry.
Ayan, sir.
Ito. So, ayun, nakita ko na. Nakikita niyo ba? Ayan. Ayan. So for number 1, ayan, sorry. For number 1, you need to determine which of the following real life scenario is a 1-to-1 or represents a 1-to-1 function or not. So, ayan, nandiyan na yung instruction. Write 1-to-1 kapag siya ay 1-to-1. Kapag hindi, not 1-to-1. So, 5 items yan. So, 5 points. For number 2, you need to use yung last part na ginawa natin. You need to have it in composition. So, composition of functions. Verify niyo po kung itong tatlong pairs ng function ay inverse nila ang isa't isa or hindi. So ipapasok niyo si f of x kay f raised to -1 of x para malaman niyo kung siya ay function or inverse function nila ang isa't isa or hindi. Yung last part na ginawa natin kanina. Yon. Tapos sa part 3 po, ayan, part 3, find the inverse. Ayun na. So, alam niyo na kung paano i-find na inverse, di ba? Again, I cannot promise you that I can upload your video ASAP, but I rest assured that by tomorrow, I can upload that video. Okay? Kasi naputol tayo. Kasi kung hindi lang talaga siya naputol-putol, ayun, i-upload ko agad. Pero since pagdudugtong-dugtong ko pa, yun po. Okay? Siguro, for Einstein, I haven't uploaded the assignment yet. So, upload ko ngayon. So, ayun po. So, if you have no more, may questions pa ba? So, kung wala na rin, ayun. So, I guess kung wala na rin, I think that's all for today. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Enjoy your lunch.